grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
Jim is here. Mike is here. Brian and Brian are off location today. Yes. So we're just kind of hanging the two of us here in studio, and we're going to try some porters today.
Nice.
So we're going to see what we got there. We were thinking of doing pilsners until I checked in my fridge and saw I didn't have any pilsners.
This is a good substitute, though.
So, yeah, I think porters will be a good way to make up for it. At least it starts with the same letter. So
there you go.
Yeah, and they're pretty close to the same, I think.
Yes. They're all going to be very dark, I think.
Yes. Now, we should let people know that I had 4 porters. So we did substitute a different one in to go with it. It'll be similar. So the first one we are going to try today, Jim, is by City Lights Brewing, and it is their coconut porter.
Nice.
Let's see. Established 2016 coconut porter.
Right. Well, the only thing now, it looks like this is the baby of the group because this is a 12-ounce can and all the other ones are 16
They're 16. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
But this one has got definitely a coconut aroma.
For sure, yeah.
You can smell it. It's not over the top, but you can smell it in the glass.
It has 35 IBUs, and it's 5.3% ABV. So it's a little bit, I wouldn't say it's hoppy for a porter, but it's probably pretty standard.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't taste any of the bitter hops that I'm not sure where he came up, unless he's thinking that the coconut is a little bit higher flavor. But I mean, this is definitely not a bad beer. This is smooth.
The coconut on this one, I think maybe it's the roasted malts of the porter. Kind of, you know what I mean? It's got kind of that little bit of a stronger.
Yep.
I don't like to say a burnt note to it, but it's got a little bit of that.
Roasted. Something. I'm not sure how they did I wonder if the coconut can be roasted. Or is it maybe the malts? Maybe that's a roast.
Oh, the malts I'm sure are, and I don't remember. I'm looking on here. Oh, there's notes of coffee.
Oh,
chocolate, nutmeg. No, what is that? Boy, I tell you, I got to get new glasses because I
don't taste any of those other flavors. I taste the coconut.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe that roasted flavor could that possibly be the coffee?
I wonder.
It could be because I don't know.
Let me get my 2200 vision on here and see if I can see anything.
You're 2200, you said, right?
Yeah. Not good, is it?
Well, and I have glasses, and it's they don't make it easy to read on some of these.
What in the world is notes of coffee, chocolate, nuttiness, and aromatic toasted coconut?
There you go.
Maybe that's what it is.
That could be.
I've never heard of nuttiness coconut.
Well, it is a nut, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what are you thinking on stars on this one?
Personally, I mean, it's a good beer.
Yep.
It's not one that I'd be like, wow, coconut wise, it's a little light, my opinion on the coconut. Again, coconut is one of those you got to be careful with.
Right.
And again, I don't know if it's the roasted notes or if the coffee or what. The chocolate, I didn't really pick up a lot of that. I mean, it's better than average. I'm guessing, I would say probably a 2.7.
All right. I was thinking for me a little closer to the 3 range, but I mean 2.7 is fine. I mean, it's not a bad beer, and it's not anything that I dump out in the sink. But like you said, the flavors just don't quite all sync up together.
Yep.
I don't know. It's really hard to put your finger on sometimes.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be a little more along the lines of the Death by Coconut by Oscar Blues.
Right.
Because that one has more coconut flavor, but it's not like over the top.
And you recently had one that was a milk stout.
Yes.
On nitro that was coconut.
That nitro milk, or white stout.
Yes. And that had a lot of coconut.
This
is not close to that level of coconut.
If you listen to our Between the Bluffs recap, I really liked that nitro coconut white stout, and Jim wasn't as sold on it as I was. But this one is not that much coconut.
No.
But like you said, it is a good beer, and I am not complaining about that one at all.
Right.
It's just, again, I don't know if it's the combination. It's probably the combination of the roasted notes, the coffee, the chocolate, and it kind of just mutes the coconut, in my opinion.
Yep. All right, what do we got next?
All right. Well, now we're going into ones we've never had.
Nice.
And this one here is by Clutch Brewing Company, and it's called Ruff Day, and it's an American porter, 6.4%, and they have their small writing too. Apparently I need to get better glasses.
We're gonna have to get one of those magnifying glasses.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. So what it says, the can is kind of would you say kind of a yellowish?
Yellow label with the can is all black.
The can is cool. It's a black can. It's got the wrap on it, but it's got like an American bulldog.
Oh, yes.
Picture on the label.
Oh, is that where the Ruff?
Well,
R-U-F-F.
So on the side it says Ruff Day American Porter, and it says Ruff Day. It's one of those times you just want to have a beer with your best canine pal.
Wow, nice.
I hope they didn't make it with any kind of dog food or anything. Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
They know how rough it is out there. This dark delight boasts a bold roast up front with smooth notes of chocolate and coffee that linger with delicate herbal notes to balance.
Ooh, all right.
Now, this sounds kind of interesting, and this is out of Minnesota. Let me see. I thought I saw it. Like I said, it's 6.4%, 32 IBUs. So the IBUs are very similar to the other one that we just had.
Right.
And boy, I can't. I see the address. Where's the city? Anyway, it's out of Minnesota. Minnesota. So let's see what we got.
All right.
I'm trying to get the smell here.
I don't know, bud. There's something going on here. I'm not sure what it is.
You know, when it's talked about the roasted notes and coffee and chocolate that linger, I'm not really getting a whole lot of that. It's the first one, I think, had way more. The City Lights one had way more of a roasted flavor to it than what this one does.
I honestly can't figure out what the flavor is. It is. There is.
Well, that's kind of a disappointment because that puppy on the label looks just so sweet, you know? He's like, look at me, have a beer with me.
I mean, I had high expectations for this one, and I'm like, ooh, ow, ouch.
Boy, I
don't know.
You know, it's not offensive. It's not overpowering. It's just, I don't think it has a whole lot of flavor to it. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. And again, I'll have to admit, I don't ever actually remember trying an American porter. So I don't know if that's what they were trying to do. I don't know.
You know, I mean, we've had, all sorts of different porters, Baltic porters, robust porters where they got that big, kind of punchy in the mouth flavor. Yeah. And American porter, this might be one of them. I'll have to look back and see how many of those I've ever had. I'm sure it's not many, but I don't know. I'm not sold on this one. I don't know. I could be way off, but I'm not. Maybe after we're done here, it'll warm up a little bit, and we'll try it again and see if there's any difference. But right now, it's just not a lot of. I just don't pick up a whole lot of flavor to it.
No, and then boy, it's. Yeah. I don't know. And unfortunately, I think that's going to reflect in my rating too, because I think this is below average. I'm thinking of 2.4, just below average. I mean, and unfortunately, I'm not a good American porter kind of style guy, so I don't know what it should be, but I would think there'd be a little more flavor. That's from, even though I don't understand what the American porter, I mean, it's got the color like a porter, but the flavor is where it's really kind of a little bit more difficult for me.
Oh, sure. Like I said, I've never had this before, and I'd have to look back, like I said, and on Clutch Brewing too, to see how many of their beers I've had. It might be the first one of theirs I've had. Like I said, it's not bad, but it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. So we're gonna have to look into like an American porter and just see what it says, if there is, that's kind of a trademark of that style or what.
Right.
It's smooth, but like I said, I just don't pick up the coffee or the chocolate.
Yeah. How many stars were you thinking?
Personally, I'm like a 2.4, just a little below average. Just, I mean, it's again, would I drink another one? I could, but after I get done with this one, right now, my opinion would be I'd look for a different beer.
So I just looked up here on my phone. It says Clutch Brewing is out of St. Paul.
Okay.
So yeah, but I'll take it down as a 2.4. Just yeah.
I mean, is that what you're thinking? Or
Yeah, that was right. The exact number that I had on there too. So I mean, we're both thinking alike on that one. That was
and like I said,
disappointment because the puppy, can and all the different stuff on it had very high expectations, and we don't have many American porters we've tried,
right?
So I think we were both thinking this is going to be a little bit better beer.
Yeah, and it's one of those that I'm going to, save my judgment on the brewery for sure, because I really want to look and see if I've had many American porters and kind of compare what I gave those.
Right.
Because it could be, maybe they're very similar, but again, I was expecting a little more flavor, and such, but, it's not bad. And like I said, it's got a cute little dog on the label. Looks tough. I'm sure it's an American bulldog.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he just didn't quite produce as strongly as I thought.
You're spot on with that one.
All right. So the third one that we've got is by Drekker Brewing. And Drekker makes a lot of different beers. And a lot of them I've seen around us are a lot of sours. And at some point, we'll probably do a Drekker sour category. But
I can't wait for that one, buddy.
I know you are a huge sour fan. But this one we have today is called Sticky Digits, and it's a s'mores porter. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is like a really sweet kind of a deal or what. On the side, it's got, the malts. It lists all the malts they use, the hops, the yeast, and then it says gimmicks on it, and it says cocoa nibs, graham crackers, brown sugar, vanilla bean, lactose, and toasted marshmallow.
Oh, there you go. That's a good combination.
Yeah, they've got all of the trademark stuff for a s'more. So let's open this up and see what it is.
You've piqued my anticipation.
I have
for this
your
one.
Attention.
Yes. These are the big 16-ounce cans.
So before you taste, I haven't tasted it yet. Just take a whiff. You can definitely smell.
Ooh.
I can smell marshmallow.
Yes.
You got the chocolate.
Mm-hmm. And even the head is dark.
Yeah, it's like that. Definitely that tan. What you'd think of for like a stout out of a porter. Boy, that smells good.
Wow, that's tasty. Too bad you don't have your campfire going right now. But
oh my gosh, dude, I got to find out.
You can sit around a campfire.
I have got to find out if I can get some more of that, because
wow,
that would be good sitting around a campfire.
Yeah,
that I'm trying to, and I think I had mentioned this once when BK was here, and he had we had tried a s'mores beer, and it's like graham cracker is one of those things that I always have a hard time picking up on.
Right.
And I don't know why, but it's just kind of one of those that's like, But I do remember we did have a beer, we talked about it, that you could definitely taste it. This one, I think you can kind of taste that little bit of but I do think that the bigger sweet note is the marshmallow.
Yeah. What I like is it's not over the top sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it says s'mores in the label, it is not overly sweet, which, it like hurts your teeth when it's so sweet.
Right.
But I looked up here on the interwebs, and they're from Fargo, North Dakota.
Yep.
So not close by, but I mean in the northern Midwest.
Oh yeah, in the upper Midwest for sure. And it's kind of neat because we do have a bottle shop in our town, and they get quite a bit of stuff from Drekker. And like I said, a lot of it is sours. But this one, when I saw that they had got it, I thought, okay, I gotta grab it and see, because you see s'mores stouts, you see stuff like that. I haven't seen many s'mores porters at all. And boy, this is good. And
we've had a few different beers that have been labeled as s'mores, mm-hmm. but they're missing parts and pieces of the s'more, and it's really sweet.
Yep.
This one has a really good balance. There's not a bad aftertaste. Mm-mm. It doesn't linger. It's really smooth. Really, really good.
What this reminds me of a little bit, not in the style, because these are two totally different styles, but for drinkability, it reminds me of the Belching Beaver, the Mexican hot chocolate.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Where it's just, for whatever reason, those two beers, they're super smooth. They do have a little bit of a sweetness to them, but this one, it says it's a s'mores beer. It tastes like s'mores. That one, it has the pepper, the peanut butter, the kind of that hot chocolate type flavor to it.
well, maybe this is why it's good, because it says it's got cacao nibs.
Cacao nibs.
Cacao nibs.
See, cacao. No, this
crackers,
is
brown sugar, vanilla beans, lactose, toasted marshmallow. Man, this is
good.
wow. This might be in that category of the scary good ones. But did we say the ABV on that? I don't know.
I don't think I did. I don't remember if it says if I saw it on the can.
Well, it's probably that teeny tiny writing that's on there.
Well, talk amongst yourselves. I'll look and see what I can find.
Yeah, I mean, this is. Well, and again, I'll look, kind of give you a description of the can, the labeling on it. I mean, it looks it's cool too. I mean, it's got different. It's almost like a Halloween theme can because it's got some weird like skeleton fingers type thing and crossing axes. But that's the Drekker has got looks like a big Viking with a big beard on.
Right.
But the can, I mean, they got some good artwork on here too. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, the artwork is good. The beer is good. I mean, I'm really, really impressed with this one. This is
here we go.
Right out there.
6.5%.
Not bad.
No,
I don't know what you say.
I hate to say it, but this one is, we've had s'mores, stouts, and things like that. This one, you could sit and drink a few of them by the campfire.
Yeah.
Where some of those other ones, they're really way over sweet. They are higher alcohol, but they're way over sweetened. This is a good beer. And like I said, I'm going to have to try and find some more of this.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. Yeah. What are you thinking on stars?
Dude, I'm 3.4, 3.5.
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
3.5. I'm thinking.
I might even want a little 3.6.
Even higher. Oh yeah.
But I mean, but the only part that I'm not knocking the flavor or anything, it's just not a higher alcohol. Mm-hmm. So it can't really push up on that 4 level too far.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, and 3.5 is good with me.
But it is definitely drinkable. And like I said, you could sit by a campfire. Like I said, now my interest is piqued. I got to try and find some so we can sit around the campfire and just make sure that it's good. Quality reasons, of course.
Yes, quality control is always peak number 1 on our list.
There you go.
Making sure that we test this beer out so nobody has any bad beer out there.
That is right. We've got 2 to go. And this one has all sorts of little bitty words. Now, do we want to do... here's what we got. We have a Baltic Porter and we have a Milk Stout. Which one do you want to do first?
Well, I'm game either way. They both of the same size. They actually look like almost the same style can too.
Pretty close. I'm just looking this one up to see what.
I see the other one is a 10.5 ABV.
Okay, so the Milk Stout is 8.5.
Well, let's do that one. Let's do the weaker
so I'm going to read what their description is. Okay, so it is Milk Stout with cacao, marshmallow, and hazelnut.
All right.
You can take your box of deception. The name is Box of Deception, all right. By the way. You can take your box of deception and go. Marshmallow combines with earthy, savory hazelnut before finishing with tons of real cacao for a rich and decadent treat. This Milk Stout is thick in every right place and a treat perfect for the times when the long summer sun turns to crisp fall evenings.
Ooh, so this might be another fireside beer.
It could be, and this is by Youndblood Beer Company. And they're in Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison, all right.
So this should be an interesting one as well. And you'll see on the pictures online, it's a black can, and Youndblood Beer Company has YB, nice. And then Beer Company has got almost like palm trees
right in the middle
of it, and it's with a circle, and it's a Box of Deception. So again, with a Milk Stout with cacao, marshmallow, and hazelnut, 8.5% ABV.
All right, well, You've been doing good so far. We have not had a bad beer yet tonight, so that's a good sign.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yes.
So far, 3 for 3. I'm batting 1,000. I can't guarantee because I've never had these two, but we'll see what happens.
Let's go, buddy. Oh, it's a dark beer.
Oh yeah, I mean it looks very similar to all the porters that we've had. Even though it's a Milk Stout.
Right.
It's got a little different smell to it.
Yeah. What
is that? The hazelnut?
I wonder.
Wow. Honestly, I like that. That has got to be hazelnut because I pick up hazelnut.
Yeah, there's a strong hazelnut.
You get the cacao nibs.
Not as much.
Not as much. The hazelnut, I think, pops more.
Yes.
It's definitely smooth. You can tell it's a Milk Stout.
It seems sweeter for some reason.
I was going to say there's a sweetness to it.
Yeah, I don't know, because
It's not like hurt your feelings, sweet.
Right.
But it's definitely sweeter. It's sweeter than that the porter was, the s'mores porter, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Boy, it's got to be the hazelnut, that aroma that you're smelling.
Wow. I mean, and again, I don't regularly eat hazelnuts, so I don't know that flavor, but I mean, I'm assuming then that this is a good hazelnut flavor. So yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's just, it's one of those where if you don't know what a hazelnut tastes like and you take your first swig, you're like, wow, all right, there's flavor.
Yep.
It like comes right at you. I mean, it like jumps out of the glass at you, but it's not bad. It's not a bad flavor.
Jim, and I would probably safely bet that over 99% of my hazelnut intake comes from like a beer. To be honest with you, I don't eat a lot of hazelnuts either. But boy, you can definitely tell. There's been some other ones that we've had. I know I'm pretty sure you've had it. There was one by Wisconsin Brewing.
Okay.
And it was called Hazel's Nut House.
Wow.
And that one had a really strong hazelnut flavor.
Right.
So it was, when you tasted it, it was like, okay, yeah, it was almost, it was right on that edge.
Oh, okay.
But it was still very good. Where this one is definitely more of a subdued.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's definitely not a bad beer. It's not.
No, I like it.
I mean, but you have to know hazelnut, because it says milk stout. So you kind of have a different, your mind is thinking it one way.
Yep.
And that hazelnut twisted another way.
And I will say that initial smell, and even after that, it is a little bit different.
Yes.
Because it's like a little confusing a little bit, because I don't know. It's got to be the hazelnut, but it's got kind of a different thing to it.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's hard to put your finger on, because if you don't eat hazelnuts every day, you don't know.
If you don't mix your hazelnuts with cacao nibs and lactose,
right? But I mean, this is not a bad beer. Mm-mm. So you're still batting 4 for 4, which is a good sign. That's a good thing. I mean, it's wow.
Even like I said, even that American porter wasn't bad. We rated it a little below average, but it was still a good beer.
Right. Oh,
this one, boy, I like it. I'm thinking this is for me is like a 3.6.
Ooh, really? You're right up there.
I like it.
All right. Well, I mean, I personally like the s'mores because I don't really know what hazelnuts.
Sure. Yep.
So, but I mean, we're nip and tuck. It's not like one is like way ahead of the other. They're like right there. So I mean,
so what are you going to say for a score?
I'd give this some. I'd give the s'mores like a 3.6 and this one a 3.5.
Okay, so we're similar,
very close.
I just think it's really good. I like the just the taste of it. It's very smooth. Yeah, and like I said, like you said before, it's got to be the hazelnut flavor that we're tasting,
right?
Because I couldn't say, oh yeah, but that's what it's got to be. But it's very good, and it's not over the top sweet. That's one thing I kind of like, because some of them, like I said before, get really sweet, and it's like, ugh,
and what'd you say was ABV? This was a
8.5.
8.5. So it's not. It's getting
a little bit higher,
but it's not over the top high.
Correct. So yeah, I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah, they're doing good work with that.
All right. So now we're on our 5th and final beer.
Last one.
And we're going back to being a porter. This is by Phase 3 Brewing Company, and it's P3 Baltic Porter.
All right.
And it is out of Lake Zurich, Illinois.
I think down by Chicago,
so it's
isn't
Illinois.
Those FIBs.
There you go. This one is 10.5%.
Is that our highest alcohol one tonight?
That is our highest one tonight. Right. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully, if it's like these other ones, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can't let me down now. You've had 4 good ones, so you got to go for 5 for 5.
I'm going to try. I cannot guarantee.
Oh, look
it's
at that,
definitely
baby.
A porter color. I mean, it's a lighter. It's dark brown. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a lighter than what that milk stout was.
Right.
It's a little different. And maybe I hate to say it, it's probably getting penalized because we still have that the sweet taste in our mouth from the milk stout.
Yeah. I was expecting a little more.
The flavor is not nearly as strong as I thought it would be. Typically a lot of your Baltic porters have a little bit of stronger flavor to them. This one isn't. It does not drink strong alcohol.
No.
If you gave me that and said, what would you guess it to be? I'd be like,
probably 8.
7, 8.
Yeah.
So that part is good. But the flavor.
Yeah. I'm trying to, even the smell.
Yeah. It's it almost has a little bit of a, how would you describe it?
I don't know
how to describe it. It's not offensive.
It's so nondescript. Everything is so faint.
It's like,
in its flavors.
Yeah. Like a very faint cocoa nib. Yeah, it's almost, I'm not getting a whole lot of.
This is not a overpowering beer. This is. If you've never had a Baltic porter before, this should probably be one you'd try.
Or you could try it. And the sad part is we've had other Baltic porters that are really good.
Oh yes.
And not saying this isn't like that, but it's I guess just I give them kudos. 10.5%.
Yep.
They made it drinkable.
Yep.
It does not have a boozy taste to it.
Right.
But the flavor itself is not real.
There.
It's not a strong flavor.
So whatever they did to make the higher alcohol drinkable, kind of like flattened out everything else. Whatever flavor they were trying, it's just like drinking brown water. I don't know.
I don't know. And again, we've had other Phase 3 beers and they're good.
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, this one, I had high hopes for it. And again, I still think it's above average, but it's not on the top of what we've tried tonight.
Yeah. Again, I had high expectations. Anytime you bring out a double-digit beer, I'm always interested because it's just to see how they brew it. But you don't taste any alcohol.
No.
So, that part
is good.
They hit spot on. But the flavor part.
And Jim, what is your slogan? If it's over 10%, it's right in your wheelhouse.
Oh, there you go. But I was like, I think that's what it is. Is he going to trick me tonight?
Nope, that's it.
Yep, right. And I don't want to I'm not saying this is not a bad beer.
No.
I'm just fighting and struggling to come up with the flavor.
Well, and I'm in agreement with you because, like I said, I give them kudos for making a 10.5% beer that you can drink without getting, tasting like it's a high alcohol.
Yep.
But I think it needs more flavor myself.
Yeah. I honestly can't remember how many of this beer we've had from this brewery.
We've had some, yeah.
I can't say, what their style, but we had high expectations because we put this last.
Yep.
Just because we thought it'd be one of our better beers.
Well, and partly that, and partly because the 10.5%, because it was like, well, we don't want to follow that up with a 6%, because then it's like, it wouldn't taste like anything. But
our taste buds might be really.
There you go, exactly. But yeah, it's again, I just I don't know, it's missing something. And Phase 3, if you're listening to this, it is a good beer. You did a great job on making a 10.5% beer very drinkable, but I just wish it had a little bit more flavor is my opinion.
Right.
Star wise, I'm thinking like a 2.7, 2.8. I go 2.8.
2.8.
Yeah. Just because, given that the bonus for the higher alcohol.
And I think I'm right in there too. It's not below average.
No,
it's not offensive. It's right in that middle. Right in the middle because it's lacking a little bit of flavor.
Yep.
If they would have put a little bit of flavor, this would definitely be a 3.5 beer.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's a double digit. It'd have all the key pieces. It's just a little bit of flavor. We always talk about that. Just about every one of these. It's trying to find that sweet spot.
Yep.
Not too much, not too little, but right there where you can taste it.
And like we've brought up before, Jim and I started off on stouts, porters, barrel aged. So, the 10.5%, we're a pretty good judge of that, right. Those styles, the higher alcohol type things. And, like I said, we've had worse.
Yes.
We have had by far way worse. We've had by far way better. But again, it's one of those that I think for a beginner that really hasn't I shouldn't even say beginner. Somebody that hasn't had a lot of higher alcohol beers
Right.
or Baltic porters. This would be an all right one to try.
To start with, yep.
Because the flavor is really mellow. You can't tell that it's 10.5%.
Right.
For I guess a more seasoned palate, if you want to say that, it might not be your first choice. But again, it wasn't offensive at all. You know, so I think they have definitely got where they could do a couple tweaks, and like you said, that would be a real high scoring beer, and and I don't think it'd take much, just a little bit more flavor, and I think they're way up there.
Right. So here are your ratings.
So of the 5 beers tonight, I don't think we had a clunker.
Nope.
But what would you say if there's one beer out of there that somebody really should buy and try? What would you say it would be?
I'd have to say, in my opinion, it's the Drekker Sticky Digits S'mores Porter. I mean, and taking nothing away from the hazelnut, but I think that s'mores one kind of would hit more people's palate.
Yep.
The hazelnut, I mean, you got to know, you have to know when you crack the top that there's going to be hazelnuts and there's going to be a hazelnut flavor.
Right.
The s'mores, everybody likes marshmallows.
Right. There you go. Who doesn't like a s'more?
Right. So for me, that's, if you were going to try anything, and that's I would say that's my number one beer tonight is the s'mores, followed by the hazelnut.
Yep. And it'll probably surprise you. I'm in the exact same opinion that you are. The thing that separated it for me was that the hazelnut milk stout, the smell, that aroma was kind of a little bit weird,
right?
At first, until when you tasted it, and then you knew, okay, that's the hazelnut. But the aroma was what separated it for me. And the exact same thing, the Drekker is probably one of the best s'mores beers I think we've had.
Yes.
Because we've had a number of other ones, and like I said, they're either way too sweet or something. And that one I thought was a really good balance.
Right. It's not overly sweet. I mean, for that marshmallow flavor, it's not a sweet marshmallow. They really blended it very well, all of it together.
Exactly. So yeah, I agree with you. I'd say Drekker was definitely number one. And the hazelnut, the milk stout, I'd say is number 2 by Youndblood.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, there you go, folks. It was our porter / one milk stout, which the milk stout ended up second. So
our dark beer.
Our dark beer. At some point, we will get into more dark beers and barrel age and all that kind of stuff. But when there's only 2 of you, you got to kind of monitor what you're doing. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, always remember, I hope that your beers are cold and your campfires are hot.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.